That's funny, BJ. You know what is actually funny is TJ's fastest time that he was clocked in college on turf was 4.47 seconds for the 40. And on grass, on a regular basis, he could hit 4.6. But I guarantee you, Chris, that night, he was 3.5 for 40. All right, our next speaker is Ken Zervis. Ken got to know TJ at Western Oregon University, where he lived with TJ and Darren. He's regretted it ever since. Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Zervis.
Perfect song, man. No, thank you. That was awesome. All right, check that. Yeah, it is hard to tell how loud you are from back here.
You gotta lean it heavy.
Testing, 1, 2. A little better?
Next on stage.
I had a joke going for his time in the 40. You just stole it from me, and I got to scratch that off. So, TJ, it's nice to see that you got the whole douchebag Christian Grey thing going on tonight. That's actually going to work very well into one of my jokes a little bit later. And if we could just all take a moment to maybe lower expectations right now. You guys have been amazing all night long. This might suck really bad. So there's an age-old motto pertaining to this type of event. We only roast the ones we love. Well, so much for that theory. We are all here tonight so TJ can fulfill one of his sexual fantasies, to have a room full of his friends shit all over him. And he said it was an over 21 roast, man.
It's all good.
As a child, TJ hated naps and spankings, and now he's obsessed with them. Hey, have you guys ever been to a party at TJ's beach house? It's like the bar scene from Star Wars. I didn't know if I was going to get shot or violated. It's great to see TJ again. It's been about 8 years since I've seen him. We bumped into each other at the Newport Seafood and Wine Festival recently. Glad to see you've kept yourself in shape. You're still wearing medium-sized shirts. TJ buys medium shirts, washes them on hot, dries them on high. TJ was a big supporter of his defensive line when he played at Western Oregon. He didn't even have to bend over to kiss their ass. TJ coached the Powder Puff football team his senior year at Western Oregon University. I remember him stalking the sidelines, keeping a close watch over every aspect of the game. He reminded me of a young Bill Belichick. He even deflated his balls for the girls. All right, they're not all home runs, people. Jeter only got 3 hits out of 10 and he's in the Hall of Fame. We all know how polite, reserved, and tactful TJ can be when it comes to communication, be it in a personal or professional situation. So one day in 2002, while utilizing his amazing skills in interpersonal communication, T managed to piss off his supervisor at AmFam, who then informs TJ that she's going to audit all of his homeowner's insurance policies. So I get called to come back from Salem at 8 p.m. at night and spend the evening spot checking all the houses, the roofs actually, is what you told me, of every home you insured.
So there's no moss on them.
So you give me, I don't even remember that part. So you give me a list of addresses and tell me to check all the roofs of these houses, make sure they're in good condition. I'm driving around places outside of Molalla, North Portland, creeping around people's houses in the middle of the night. That's brilliant, TJ. I'm just wondering if you've ever figured out that she never actually intended to audit you. She just wanted you to waste your evening and early morning hours blowing gas money and developing another ulcer. I let TJ stay overnight at my house one time. I woke up the next morning and found him in the living room, letting my cat lick milk off his nipples. It's not the first time that's happened, people. So I'm like, TJ, why would you do this? And he's like, well, your dog's lactose intolerant. And the cat's tongue feels better. I know we weren't supposed to bring gifts to this thing, but it's TJ's big night. And I know you're going to get a chance to respond to everybody at the end of the night. So I brought you a gift. Little step stool. I want to make sure you can see over the podium all your family and friends. I also thought of your lovely wife, Kate, who I just met tonight, who has the good fortune and privilege of living with TJ. So I got her a little something that I thought might come in handy. Yeah. You know how to use this? Self-explanatory. Just put it, open his mouth, insert, and tighten it.
I'm excited.
That kind of goes along with the Christian Grey thing. TJ has lived an incredibly interesting life, so much so that the one and only Steven Spielberg has turned it into a movie. It's going to be opening in theaters everywhere March 27th, and then it'll be in Redbox March 28th. All right, the other one that goes. Kate, I also don't want you to worry about, now that he's 40 years old, his ability to perform. I have a hookup through Canada. I can get Viagra, 50 cents a pill. And I brought him a starter kit tonight. Kate and TJ have, TJ has wanted to get another dog. But Kate said no, she's against it. She can't even stand it when TJ craps in the house. And remember, if anyone here tonight bombs, they're just doing an impression of TJ. And in closing, a joke. TJ wakes up one morning and sees Kate standing in the doorway holding one of their dogs. Kate says, "This is the pig I've been screwing." And TJ says, "You idiot, that's not a pig, that's a dog." And Kate says, "Shut the F up, TJ, I'm talking to the dog." All right, no, oh, one more thing. No, get away from me, dude, sit down. So on a serious note, there was a time several years back where I was in a bad place and I needed some help. And TJ was there for me, no questions asked, and no hesitation. And if I never got a chance to say thank you before, I want to say thank you now. I love you, man, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ken.
Dave, you can use the step stool too.
Great, I might need it. Get another mint. All right, our next speaker, well, is actually TJ's mistress. I know.
What?
Yep. It's actually Kate's best friend. So I don't know how this works out. They met many years ago when Kate lived in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. They'd worked there during the summers. She finally introduced TJ to this person. Shortly after that, they actually lived together for a couple of weeks, just before TJ and Kate got married. But this mistress fell in love with TJ, and they kept the relationship secret. And it's okay, TJ, it's all right. This person works for Neiman Marcus, a luxury skincare company, representing the line Lamar.
It's Lemaire.
Lamar, that's what it says.
Oh.
Okay. Take another mint. Okay. Was also just engaged to Justin. And I know you're a little devastated.
A little bit.
But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michael Franklin.
I'm actually surprised how many friends you have. You have to. So I'll start by formally introducing myself. Since I originally thought that this was my Welcome to Portland celebration, but it turns out it's just this little fairy's birthday. I'm Michael Franklin. I know, I'm fabulous. You know, they say that you are what you eat, but I don't remember ever eating a legend. It gets better, trust me. Well, the lovely Kate Beck, I knew her as Kate Moore. So the lovely Kate Beck and I met several years ago when I lived in Jacksonville, Wyoming during the summers. This is the time in Kate's life where she thought she was a free-spirited hippie. You would never know it now, ever. Diamonds everywhere, dripping. This was before reuniting with TJ and before he introduced her to diamonds, champagne, a bar of soap, and a hot shower. She smelled a little bit sometimes. Kate is even more fabulous because, well, she's friends with me. A couple of years later, I was introduced to the love of my life, TJ. I see Justin taking his ring off right now, like, he's out of here. I'm keeping my ring now. I'm gonna keep it. Now I have to let you know that Kate actually turned TJ down many times during the freshman year. And she actually told him to call her when she's 30, because she will be really busy until then. I actually think she was waiting for him to grow taller. He didn't. Oh, man. Where was I?
You're fabulous.
Do I?
You're fabulous.
Oh, fuck yeah. But after being barefoot and busy for years, he happened to come back into her life. Obviously, he's quite the catch. Kate, if you want me to sleep with your husband, be happy to do that for you. Just let me know. I'll take him. Now, since it's kind of out there now, this may come to a little bit of a shock to all of you, but TJ and I are actually in love. And we've actually been keeping it a secret until now, so a lot of you are probably devastated. His parents are probably just like absolutely mortified at this. Yes, I'll be the new part of the family. So, Kate, don't worry. We're gonna get you a really good lawyer, and we'll go shopping on TJ's dime. Now, unless you end up with nothing, then bitch, you're dead to me. Bye. TJ has already promised me your collection of diamonds, so you can go ahead and start taking them off now. Thank you. And just because TJ is currently married doesn't mean he can't date other men. Kate was used to that in her last relationship as well. True story. True story. Trust me, true story. Man, I'm roasting you, man. Actually, I think I'm roasting Kate. Where am I? Jesus. I keep losing my spot.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. That's what you said. I'm right here. Let's see. So the last thing I said was, and just because TJ is currently married, he can date other men. Kate was used to that in their last relationship as well. Kate has always been attracted to gay men, her last boyfriend was gay. She really had no idea at all. And I actually can elaborate on that story later if you like. No? Okay. But I was the one that broke the news to her. And, well, twice now. Bless her heart. Seriously, bless her heart. Poor girl. Damn. Alright, let's lighten things up and get back to TJ, because this is his roast. TJ is, however, a little sensitive. He's so pretty when he cries, though. So pretty. He'll rest his head on my shoulder, and I just cuddle him. It's so cute. So I promised that I wouldn't be too hard on him. And turning the same age as Bob Newhart this year is hard enough. Isn't Bob Newhart like 120? I have learned to how to tolerate how sensitive TJ can be. I actually borrowed his handbag. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So I actually borrowed TJ's handbag and noticed that he was running low on something, so I bought him a package of maxi pads at the store.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay, there's some extra ones for you.
Is there more?
Yeah, there's some.
Well, thank you.
I don't need you reading all over the place. Oh, and here's your handbag.
Thank you. Shit.
How did we not know?
Good one.
How did we not know? So, aging. It happens. That's why you need to wear them hair. We'll preserve it, turn back time. I hear that shit starts dropping, drooping, sagging, and breaking off. And the neck is the worst, the absolute worst. At some point it starts to hang low, like my 87-year-old grandmother's breast. We can try to restore some of your damage, with a full facelift. Just don't go too far. I don't want people walking around saying, there goes Michael with his new girlfriend, Bruce Jenner. That's a mess. TJ has a lot of energy, though, for an old person. He's very athletic and fit. He does struggle with his lack of height, especially when he rides his bike because his feet don't touch the pedals. If you ever see that, goodness. I mean, there's an entire world up here that he doesn't even get to experience. I mean, he only sees half of what you see, and it's only the bottom half. I'm sure that he is just sick of talking to people's nipples. And being short is the new black, said no one ever. I do though have to give props to TJ's son, Josh Beck, for adding that if his dad were any shorter, he would be a lawn gnome. And I must say, I love my future stepson. So TJ and Kate have such a beautiful life. I'm just sad for her that it is coming to an end after this. He's really into me. I love him. Like I said, Kate, we'll get you a good lawyer. You'll be fine. She's screwed. Screwed. And finally, I wanted to thank you, TJ, for our friendship. Not all husbands are as accepting and supportive as TJ has been. He has become a great friend, mostly because he's nice to look at. And just remember, you're not getting any younger. I mean, you're pretty, but you were prettier last year. I will now leave you all because it's true. It's true. I will now leave you all with a little something that about TJ that you may not all know, but TJ actually knows sign language. It's true, he does, it's incredible. No idea. So I asked him what the sign was for screwed, and he pointed at Kate. Happy birthday. Now, come give me a hug like you love me.
Can I get a little mood lighting, please? Michael, can I have you come back up for a second? I mean, truly, people find love in unusual ways, right?
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Come on over here, Michael. Sit next to TJ here. What? No, you don't need those. Just go ahead and sit down next to TJ here. Put your leg here. Sit down. Yeah. Just go ahead and sit down.
I don't think so. Jesus.
All right, Maestro.
This is what we do when we're at the house.
You can get off me.
Sing it to him.
Take me into your love. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place your hands on my beating heart. He's mine and
Hey, baby.
we found love right where
I'm gonna kick your ass.
All right. I think that's funny. I don't care who you are. That's funny. Actually, Wikipedia, and you saw the photo up here, NOH8. No Hate. No Hate Campaign is a charitable organization in the United States whose mission is to promote marriage, gender, human equality throughout education, advocacy, social media, visual protest. A celebrity promotes this product or mission by taping people's mouths shut. Don't hate, congratulate. Moving on. Sorry, Tej, you want to clean up your shit? Our next speaker is also a great friend of TJ's, a client. There are 4 of you out here. I need you to see him afterwards.
6.
He played football with TJ. He coaches high school football with TJ's older brother, John Beck. Actually, John's the much taller, better looking one.
That's bullshit.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Douglas.
VIP.
Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? Well, before I hopefully not be the worst one up here, I'd like to congratulate everybody on a tremendous job. All you roasters, awesome job, loving it, great job. Give a big round of applause, please. I'm last, only not because I'm good, but for what I'm going to do to TJ at the end, so just keep that in mind, so expectations, keep them in check. First thing though, I would like, Michael, where you at? Michael, TJ, just for the record, I'm totally straight, all right? So just, okay, I'm straight as straight gets, but that guy, good work. Where's that Ben Wa ball? Is that still out here somewhere? Okay, all right. I couldn't resist. It was too easy. Sorry, bud. I'm gonna have to flip the script a little bit and kind of give my testimonial to TJ because at the end it probably won't be appropriate. It's not bad.
Are you emailing somebody?
No. I don't remember the speaker's name, pardon me, but he had the same testimonial, just like myself tonight. I think it's been 5 years. My dad was diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer, and it was a very stressful time for me and my family. And TJ was, just like the other speaker said, drop of a hat, picked me up, flew me up to OHSU, and just really helped me in a really tough time. And so I just want to say thank you, and on top of that, which makes it even that much more special, my mom and dad are here tonight, and I'm happy to announce that he is cancer-free. Okay, got through that one. All right, now let's get to some good stuff. I'm a pretty arrogant guy. I'm pretty self-centered, and I think I'm pretty narcissistic, to be quite honest with you. But then when TJ asked me to speak and what was going on here tonight, I thought, dude, you're it. You're worse than me. I mean, I come in here and it's Sports Illustrated, TJ Beck right out front. I'm like, come on, man. Pop Warner football. You know, I was sitting back there and listening to all these great speakers, and it just inspired me, so I added some little things here and there, and I don't want to get long-winded, but top 5 things I'm better at than TJ. Number 1, I am better looking than you, and I know that. Number 2, I am taller if you want to come over here and just show everybody. Stay seated. I know you don't want to get up. I am faster, I guarantee. You ran a 4.7, dude. I was a 4.5. 4.5. You suck. Number 4, I'm your mother's favorite. Joanne, love you. I'm just getting warmed up. It's on a commercial. And number 5, which is beautiful, you know, it came to me back there. It's awesome. I am so much better with the ladies. No, I mean, Kate, am I right? That one just rung out. I was talking to Fred, who spoke earlier, who's a family friend, and he's one of John's buddies from high school, and he said to me, he said, you know where TJ got all that stance? That's John. That's John. When TJ was 6 years old, he went to Southern Oregon, watched him play football, and at 6 years old, TJ's walking around on the sideline, big daddy walking around. At 6 years old, wanting to be big brother. He does have a big man complex, though, don't you? I mean, guys, he's got a big house, big business, big plane. If you've been in his house, well, it's not that big, is it? A little Cessna, but
Yeah, not very big. It's a Comanche.
if you've ever been to his house, which I stayed at, and I did sleep in his bed, I slept on Kate's side too, just so you know.
She's been smiling ever since.
I know she has, brother. Hey, so anyway, we come to the house and there's all this knight armor stuff, big like steel suits. I'm like, what in the hell? And there's swords, big swords. I'm thinking, what is going on with this dude? But you know, Kate, you know what they say about that? You know, if a guy's got big hands and big feet, he's got a big piece of equipment, doesn't he? TJ, your brother said you unfortunately couldn't make it tonight, but there were some things that he sent me with, and he said that you left a couple items at the house. Where the hell did I put those? Let's see, you left, oh yeah, here we go. You left your shoes. You want me to show your penny loafers. Oh wait, oh shoot. Oh yeah, and you left, yeah, oh yeah, you left your shirt. So, just make sure you don't forget it, okay? I'll put it right here so you can take it with you. Hey, everybody have a drink. Hey, everybody take a drink here. almost through this thing here. I gotta, getting hot. Chris, I saw you do that earlier. Okay. Oh, and my notes shut down, but I'm an improv guy. I'm all right. Okay, here we go. So, couple things. So, big brother, you know, he's told me a lot of stories about him and TJ growing up, and yeah, lots of them. One of them he would say they would go cruising Main Street of Molalla, or he would. What's that look like anyway? I've never been on Main Street of Molalla to pick up chicks, but he said I'd bring my little brother and I'd put him in the seat, and the girls thought he was so cute. He was, well, I wouldn't call him a chick magnet, but I said, well, how did the hell they see him? He goes, well, I took phone books and I stuffed them under him and propped him up in the seat. Shit, TJ, you probably still do that today, don't you? So you can look over your dashboard. Should probably play some AC/DC. That's what you guys probably rolled to, huh? Oh, look at smooth, brother. Oh my God. So, excuse me? You're not supposed to talk, so just sit there and be quiet. Have a drink, do something. So, I got this thing. So TJ, I was online, I was searching around, I'm like, I gotta get this guy what he's always wanted, and it's just his idol, right? And so I get online, I go on this big eBay deal, I'm on this auction, I win, and I'm like, God, I gotta just teach it. So, and then I got his autograph. I mean, it's like the best thing in the world. So I've got this for you, TJ. This autograph picture of your favorite person in the entire world. Oh, it's you. It's you, I guess, yeah.
Thank you.
I want to say, anyway, I'll save it for another time. So I had the pleasure of going golfing Thursday we went golfing. Chris Lambert, TJ and I and my dad went and played golf. And Chris was telling me about the neighborhood parties a little bit. And I was kind of bummed that I didn't get invited, but that's okay. But I thought to myself, you know, he's probably barbecuing. He probably will use a step stool or something like that to reach the meat in the back. And I figured, God, what a bad deal. You know, you're trying to entertain and you got to get up on a step and you got to, you got stuff going on. I figured, I got to get you something that's easier to use so you can entertain. So I went to the shop. I got you a new barbecue. You won't, hold on, this thing, now, I'll pull it out, but it makes noises and things, so, hold on. The neighbors are gonna love it. Thank God I didn't bring in a shotgun. So you can reach that and barbecue all day long, no step stool. Oh, it's so good though. Hold on. You do this little deal. Oh, I had little ketchup holders. Oh, I lost it. Oh, anyway, I had ketchup. Oh, here they are. Hold on. You got your little spatula? See that little thing? You can hold on to that. You don't have to use two hands when you spin it with that one either. It's nice for your little hands, a little ketchup guy. You probably could reach all the way around that bottle. Your little hands. And a little mustard guy. Oh, look at this. Now, when you open it here, and it's got a little ignite going up, and he moves. Watch. Come on, let's fire up the grill. I just thought that's perfect for TJ. He's got to have that. He's got to have that. I've been playing with that. I'm going to be sad to see it go. How many people play golf with TJ?
Gosh.
How many? Yeah? Damn, is he something else? He is just a goddamn peacock. he's gonna go tee up, right? Oh, I guess I won the last one, so I get tee up. He backs away just so they can see him address the ball one more time. As he's doing all this shit, my dad says to me, God, he stands with the ball a long time. I'm like, yeah, he likes people to look at his ass. God, can't hit that any better. Sure as hell ain't McElroy, I'll tell you that. Hey, question. Was the bench at Southern softer, or was the bench at Western? Which one was more comfortable? I mean, there's gotta be. The thing about Southern was good. That bench, at least you had Grizzly Peak, had great views, right? I mean, you could take that in, and it was good. This is a roast, people. The truth hurts, damn it! Okay, so I got a few more things in here. And I'm almost done. Katie, I'm not going to have you open this tonight, but you can open it when you get home. This is for you, and I wrapped it especially for you in hearts. I know you like hearts. Put a little bow on there. But what it is, just so everybody knows, because John and Joanne, they're getting older. It's hard for them to see at night. I really feel for you too. But what it is, basically, I was really concerned about your guys' safety. And what it is, Kate, it's a identical costume of Joanne that you can put on and tuck him in at night so his mommy doesn't have to come do it every night. Isn't that special?
It is. And I appreciate it.
So like I said, we had the ending of this is a little bit, I don't know how to say it, but special. And so, Kate, if you could come up, please. And, yes, please, yes. So, Olivia, are you good? Are you good back there? We're almost ready. Okay, so I'll cue here in just a minute, but I got this for TJ, and I wrapped this for him. It's SpongeBob SquarePants, right? Little guy, little paper, little kid paper. Okay, so there's a story behind this. So John told me that growing up, TJ would spend so much time in the bathroom and it'd drive him crazy. He'd be in the bathroom and and then he'd have music playing. And it was the same song over and over and over again. And he's just like, God, TJ, finally he said, I've had it. I'm just going to kick the damn door in. I'm going to figure out what the hell's going on here. He kicks the door in, and what he saw is what's inside that box. So TJ, if you could please escort yourself to the side of the stage for a moment, please. Oh, you look concerned, my friend. You look concerned.
See what happened?
Well, yeah.
Why are we have to go in here?
Okay.
What am I supposed to do? I'm not teaching.
Take your shirt off, TJ. Michael, easy.
I'm on my way.
I have to wear that?
Okay. Olivia, you ready? Turn that music up just a little bit. Now, I know you've never seen TJ wear this, but when you see him in it, you're going to say, that is TJ. He's always wanted to be that guy. Turn it up. Turn it up.
TJ!
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
That's gonna be nice right there. Keep walking.
Party kid.
Apparently he does wax his chest. Who would have known? All right, so we've had a little bit of fun at BJ's expense, TJ's expense. But as David mentioned, he was one of those recipients of that angel flight that TJ does do. TJ also donates his time and effort into a National Cancer Foundation, for which he donates and holds an annual golf tournament. The monies go to this program. Hopefully we can get you guys all out there. TJ, been a great sport tonight. I want to thank you. I appreciate your friendship. And what would be a roast and toast? Come over here, babe. I'm going to get a little emotional. Okay?
Don't cry, Dave. Don't cry.
Put your hand off my ass. I'm not Michael.
checking.
Please join with me to sing happy birthday to Mr. Becks' 40th birthday. All right? Let's go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear TJ. Happy birthday to you. And unfortunately for the 10 of you guys that just roasted his ass, he gets the mic now.
That's right.
Okay? So you can say your parting thoughts.
Thank you so much for everyone showing up tonight. I really appreciate it. I know it's been a long night for a lot of you, mainly because, well, you're past your bedtime. You know, I never really figured out why it is my wife had me set up for a counseling session tomorrow. I know now why exactly I have to go to counseling. I had no idea my idiosyncrasies were so funny. Apparently, I need to seek counseling for numerous different things. I blame my family. Because apparently I can't take responsibility for a damn thing. Why is my mom nodding? God bless you. We hanging in there, Mom? Nothing too horrible? Are you doing all right? Could someone get her a bottle of wine? That'd be fantastic. You know, some of these guys have been a little bit flagrant in their comments towards me. I would like to throw a flag or two. And in Michael Franklin's case, I'd like to throw a fag or two. He has been trying to address me with his eyes and other parts of his body for so long that it almost makes me want to, well, I throw up a little bit in my mouth. I had no idea that I was leaking that bad, but apparently based on the stage right now, I've got some issues. There's a dam somewhere that could use that. Somewhere in Seattle, I have no doubt in my mind. Some of the adjusters in the room understand, Mike Helby. Let's start off with a few people that just roasted me. Oh, let's talk about Darren Plotz. Now, hi Darren. Hi Darren, how are you? Darren Plotz, actually I'm going to tell you something about Darren Plotz. Darren Plotz is a retired captain from the U.S. Army. He served in the Bradleys and the Abrams. He has a Bronze Star. Darren came from Mill City, Oregon, and came from very humble beginnings and background. And his parents are salt of the earth. I love them dearly, which makes me wonder how exactly he became the first child, as he is the spawn of Satan, after his comments today. Darren was not successful with women in college. he had numerous issues, not just how he looked, which was a major part of the issue, but he also had other problems. Mainly, the other problems kind of accumulated into, well, him being ugly, I guess. I was really mainly making a point of that, but Darren talked about different movies. He was a big fan of Billy Madison, Stop Looking at Me, Schwan, and some of those other things that go along with it. I thought that he was a bigger fan of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And I thought that because he had a long-standing girlfriend when he first came in to live with us on College Street, because every time his girlfriend would come over, they'd disappear into the room, and I heard a movie get popped in. And I would hear Darren say, Bill, Ted, have you had any excellent adventures lately? And he would say that over and over and over again. I really didn't understand why he was saying that. Later in our college career, I learned that Mr. Klotz liked to name boobs. And he would name one Mickey and Minnie, and in this case with this ex-girlfriend, he named one Bill and Ted. And so he would sit there and look at them prior to whatever he was doing, of which case I'm sure that he went to church for him. And say, Bill and Ted, have you had any excellent adventures lately? I just thought he was a fan of the movie. I had no clue that he was naming boobs. Control thyself. But in all seriousness, Darren Plotz has been a good friend to me over the years. I love him dearly. He's kind of I'm trying not to get too emotional. He's a hero to me. His son was going to be born. He hadn't been in uniform in 3 years and 361 days, and they made a phone call to him, and they said, you're coming back. When he first got into college, he was playing football, knew he wasn't going to get to start on the varsity level, and said, screw it, I don't want to come out with loans, so I'm going to go in the ROTC, which is a fantastic thing, absolutely. And as soon as he got out of college, he went for 4 years and served in Iraq. And when he got out of that, he thought, I'm done. We don't have any more issues. 3 years, 361 days, he gets a phone call, and they said, you're going back, because they can pull you back. And Darren missed the birth of his first son. And I'll never forget the phone call he made to me, and he said, I gotta go back. And I said, well, I thought it was just the dentist. And he said, no, it's not the dentist. I have to go back to the sandbox. And it's guys like that come from small towns, population 100 if you're lucky. And yeah, you're related to every one of them. It made it tough to date, didn't it? that guy right there, that's the kind of guy that we all love and support. And God bless you, Darren. Thank you so much. Now we come to Ken Service. Ken, the balded wonder that was up here, your joke's bombed, but that's okay. You only bomb twice a day, and that's because what you don't know about Ken is that he shaves every part of his body. He's sitting there flicking me shit about my body hair and whatnot. The man shaved, there isn't a piece of that, whatever. He sits there, and I'll never forget it, he would time when he had to go to the bathroom while he was on patrol. He would make a phone, or not a phone call, breaker 10:30. I need to take lunch. And he would go and come home, and he would go to the bathroom. What you don't know about Ken is he's a germaphobe, but Ken would then get into the shower after going to the bathroom, number 2, and shower fully, and shampoo what he didn't have, which was hair, on his head with actual shampoo. I have never figured out why he did that. He used more shampoo than I did, and I have a hell of a lot more hair than you did. And then he would get back out, put on his entire gear from head to foot, and with this little faggoty gun on his ankle thing that he was carrying as a backup that wouldn't shoot a squirrel in the eye and scare it. I mean, it was pathetic. And then he'd put his little knife in his thing. No one knew that there could be a knife that small that you would carry. It was impressive. I don't know who you were trying not to impress, but it worked great. You were the man on that one. Get back in his car and patrol away. I will say that thank God Ken was a police officer in Monmouth when I was in college, because obviously I should be in jail. You know, I'll tell you what though, Ken Service is a great guy. I knew him in high school when he had a mullet. And it was business in the front, party in the rear, and he didn't get any kind of partying done. He was not successful with women either. He and Darren hung out a lot together. I've always wondered if you two were gay lovers, really. But that's okay. We're gonna keep going. Ken, thank you so much. You're so dear. Love you to death, man. Thank you for showing up tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. Thank you so much. Now we come to the cow. And we say it like that because there's only one cow. You know, you had a guy named Pat Duchesne up here talking shit. And I'm going to get to him in a second, too. Don't worry. It's universal. And Cam's over here, and that guy right there, Cam always had special treats. And he would call them special treats. It didn't matter if he went to Costco and bought a box of assorted muffins. He would put them where we could all see his special treats, and he wouldn't share the sons of bitches. Not one. He'd sit there, he'd take a muffin out, look at us, and go, special treat time. And he would go over to the damn microwave, heat up his muffin, butter it, and away he'd go. Well, one time he went to Costco, and he went there with his parents, and came back, and he had a case of Henry Weinhardt's Premium Reserve Beer. So Cam would put this case of Premium Reserve Beer, which in college, as we all know, is like a naked woman running down the street that's good looking. She's gonna get attacked. So Cam would sit there, he would get drunk on the shit beer, Hams, Keystone Light, whatever was on sale, and then at the end, he would take one or two of his cool bottles, and he would walk down about a block and a half down to what we call LBC, which was Litter Box Colony. They always had parties there, and he would come down there because he wanted to have his special treats. Premium beer with his friends. Well, Cam, I have a dirty little secret. You see, those premium special treats are in the shape of other bottles of beer. And what I found is that if you take your premium Henry Weinhardt's beer and you soak it in warm water for about 8.5 to 9 minutes, the labels come off. And if you do that to any other beer, they do that too. So what I would do as a science experiment would be that I would put non-alcoholic beer in this vat of warm water, float the labels off that, add your Henry Weinhardt's Premium Reserve, take the cap off the Henry Weinhardt's Premium Reserve, switch the caps, put them back on, and then put them back in your special treat box. So Cam, your special treats really became my special treats. And what is classic about this, 20 years later, is that you never noticed, but I do want to say that you were acting drunk when you were really not, after drinking your special treats, and I love you for it. So tonight I would like to offer you a few more beers to make up the difference. And what's really funny is that Darren over here, or Ken, would get pissed off at you, go over to the damn thing, I'm drinking one of Cam's goddamn beers. And they would drink it, and they would act drunk too, but that shit was fake as well. It was every other one. They had to drink a non-alcoholic beer. They never even knew it. They just acted as if. And that's my dirty little secret. But I'll tell you what about Cam. Cam is a great guy. He's always been there for me. If I needed him, if I said, hey, look, man, I am in trouble, Cam would show up, Johnny on the spot, and do whatever he possibly could. His parents actually are the reason that Canby football became so successful through the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. And the reason was because his parents actually ran the little kids football programs in Canby. His mom just tirelessly worked, and they are a huge supporter of that, and I would not be remotely as average, apparently, in football without you and your family. So I thank you very much for that. Pat Duchesne, by the way, who was up here earlier, Mr. Montana, I don't want to come to TJ's thing because I actually have to, my son's team's in the state championship. Well, that's an excuse. Whatever. Pat Duchesne, great guy, love him to death. He neglected to talk about the time that he called me crying that his girlfriend and him had broke up and asked me to put him in my, or actually not my airplane at the time, it was my father's, and fly him over his girlfriend's house and drop roses out of the airplane. Now, all the women in the audience, oh. Let me just tell you about the postal weights on Barlow Road, so you know. One of their greenhouses has a hole in it. When Pat showed up at the airstrip over at Lidhart's and I put him in the airplane, he had this giant hard wooden box that was about 3.5 foot long, and he put roses in it. And he thought that he would create drag by putting a giant bow on it that would slow the box down as it would just gently flip to the ground. That thing was a goddamn missile. Saddam Hussein didn't launch scuds like this thing. I slowed the airplane up and we were just mushing through the air. Popped the window open, he's in the back, he pushes on the window so that I was worried because I thought, well shit, the thing's gonna leave the airplane. No, it did not. And he goes, okay, tell me when to drop it. Well, this is my first experience. Have I been a bomber pilot in my past? No. In World War II, apparently I died and came back as a bomber pilot. I did not know, or one. And so I said, drop it. We dropped the box out of the airplane, and I thought to myself, well, you know, kind of whatever, go down there and everything else. That thing was like a rock. It hits. I'm circling back, and I'm adding power, and I'm coming back around. Pat goes, have a look. And I'm looking down at the thing, and it hit the top of one of their fiberglass greenhouses, and you can see the thing just instantly go. Did it make it? It made it. And we flew over and everything else, and Pat's getting out of the airplane, and I'm sitting there, and he looks at me, and he goes, well, what do you think? I said, I wouldn't call him. I'd leave that alone. I pretend that one of their family members did that. And I don't know you anymore. So there's Pat Duchesne. I have a multitude of memories of Pat Duchesne. Fists of Fury, all sorts of stuff. The switchblade thing is true, which thank God he didn't go into detail on that. My mom would have a conniption fit about that shit in high school. Holy God. Guy pulled a switchblade. It doesn't matter. So that's Pat Duchesne. Now, I'd like to talk about Chris Lambert. And Chris Lambert is a great neighbor, a great friend, an incredible client. He is a big dog on the block. Everyone's like, oh, he sells carpet. Dude sells carpet to Intel, Nike, Adidas, multitude of companies all over. He's the largest, and he goes, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. Largest installer of carpet in the state of Oregon, commercial grade. No questions asked, no doubt about it. Chris is the man when it comes to that. Chris is also the only man in Oregon that's gay that doesn't know he's gay. And I have proof of that. And I'd like to start off with a couple things, and then we'll get to the footage of which I'll show you in a second. The first thing is that when I first met Chris had just bought, and he was so proud of this damn thing, it was a Volkswagen Beetle convertible. Dude rolls up to me and says, would you like to take a ride? At that point, I said no, and began to think, how does his wife not know this about him? I don't understand why Franklin's not dating him. I don't get this at all. I don't understand it one little bit. And I remember remarking to Chuck Duvall's in the audience over there. I said, Chuck, he's gay. And Chuck said, yeah, he's gay. There's no question about that. I mean, you see that right there? Chuck, tell him what you said. You said he was gay. Yeah. So Chris, after us ribbing him and saying, you're gay, decided that he went and sold that because everyone in the neighborhood was saying, you're gay, and decided to replace it with an implant, and it's called a Hummer 2, and the Hummer 2 isn't black, it isn't red, it isn't manly. No! What he does, the man goes and he buys a blue sky Hummer. Subconsciously, the man wants a Hummer. That's the only thing I can think of right now. It is blue, it is gay, and he drives it like he's a man. You're not. That's just the way it is, Chris. But that's not the final piece of evidence I got. Any man that I know that can dance like this. Oh no! Is obviously gay.
Turn the sound up on that, that'd be fantastic. I'll be right back, it's going to take a second. Now, what's going to be really funny here in a second, the music's going to stop, but Chris doesn't. state there was a one woman dancing with him. Oh, there goes a shot there. Let me just tell you what. See moonwalking here? Nick, there's game after the camera. Right there. That's what that is. Right? ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3.
Watch. We'll keep talking, Chris. And then the music will stop. So Chris Lambert, which is about to be posted on YouTube. Oh, I so gonna miss your insurance. But I'll tell you what about Chris Lambert. I went through a divorce, which everyone knows, which led me to my beautiful wife Kate, who is responsible for putting the song tonight. I think it's a big thank you to her. Unfortunately, I'm in pain now because of all of this, but thank you, Kate, for that. I really do appreciate it. Chris was there for me, mainly with booze, and it's effective. Real quick about Larry Thompson. Larry Thompson retired a captain as well. He was here, he's sick. He actually showed up with 102 fever tonight, so if you touched him, you're screwed. He has a Bronze Star as well. You don't need to clap, he can't hear you, but I'll just say you did. And he saw some pretty heavy action, just like Darren Plotz. And he's a man of his word. He'll do exactly what he says he's going to do, when he says he's going to do it. If the chips are down, you're in a foxhole, you want that kind of guy. Kind of like Mark Van Orso. The difference is that Larry doesn't smell as bad as Mark. I'm just saying, it's an issue. So that's Larry Thompson for you. Thank you for him for showing up. I'd like to scoot over here to David Douglas. David Douglas is so pretty. He's right. He is better looking than me. The man wins beauty contests for women. And he doesn't even enter the contest. He just walks by and goes, "Hey, she's hot." And they go, "You're the winner. You're the guy." I'll tell you something else about him. I played football with him in college, as you all know and have heard. And the most interesting piece of the whole deal is that he was a voracious film guy. He would sit there and he would watch hours and hours and hours and hours of film on the defense and what he was going to do and how he was going to get into a stem route and in and out of his breaks and if they're in a tough cover two and all this other stuff. And after each game, he would sit there and he would re-watch the film and he would grade himself. I mean, he would actually sit there and go, "Great break, good stance, da-da-da-da, look good," and he'd give himself an A, B, C, D, E, or F. And what's amazing is that's translated into his current life as well. And what's amazingly funny about that is I really just want to ask your wife one thing, Dawn, is what the hell is it like to be married to you, dude? I swear to God, you just get done having sex with your wife and you're already looking at the game film with it and you're grading her. I just want to know when you're sitting there and you're grading her and you're writing it down on paper and you're doing your thing and you're going, "You know what, you're Dawn, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to give you an A on this. This wasn't a great effort of yours. I gotta be honest with you. You can bring your hips a little bit more right there. Just bring them a little bit more, bring a little bit more. You're doing good here, but your stamina kind of broke down. We're going to work on that later. We're have you run some sprints. And then after that, you know what? I'll tell you what. Your position here was fantastic. I'm not going to lie to you. It was good, but it's not your best effort. I've seen you do better, and I'm going to be your coach from now on out. And then he'll post it on the inside of the bedroom door, and it's going to stipulate on this day and time, you had game time, and you got a B+. Wasn't an A effort. I know you can do better. Please work on the following. What is it like to be married to you? Sweet Jesus, I feel bad. Did this come from your parents? I know them. I love them. How do you do that? Unbelievable. God bless it. Now, Dave Jordal, our roast master tonight. Dave Jordal. He'd like to be French and be called Jordal, but that is not going to happen. You are not French. You look like a little Italian son of a bitch, is what you look like, god dang it. You don't own a bridge or a small limp with chain or anything. Okay, good. So, Dave, I like to play jokes on. I'm not going to tell you about the time that I hung dead shad off his back deck and allowed them to rot. You couldn't figure out what the smell was. I'm not going to tell you also about the time that he had a party at his house, and he said, TJ, go in there and grab a bottle of red wine and bring it out, and it was a $250 bottle of 1998, whatever it was, and I drank it. Nor am I going to tell you about the time that I came out, it was a Christmas party, and I took his fake deer and made them do things to each other. I'm not going to tell you about those times. I am going to tell you about Dave Jordal, that I sincerely appreciate you being my friend. I love you. You're a great man, and thank you so very much for everything. I appreciate you doing this tonight. Who did I miss? Who was someone that roasted me that I forgot? No, I already mentioned Franklin. Did I miss anybody? I'd like to say thank you to my mom and dad. Thank you so very much. It wasn't easy growing up in the John Beck household. Nothing was ever good enough, but I'll tell you what, it drove me to try harder and harder and harder and harder, and it made me successful. And by you kicking my ass, I thank you. Because if it wasn't for you kicking my ass and my mom loving me, I would be nothing. And I thank you sincerely. There's a saying that gets said that, hey, look, quite frankly, you can't choose your family, but you can pick your friends. And everyone in this room, if I had my druthers, I choose you to be both. Thank you so very much for showing up. And one parting comment that I heard from a great guy, just passed away, a good friend of mine, Raymond Neuschwander, to be honest, was Joel Neuschwander. He used to say this, he used to say, I really appreciate everyone coming over, and I'm glad you got to see me. Thanks so much.
All right, that concludes this evening's event. We appreciate you guys coming out. If you need a glass of wine or a beer, we'll do that. We've got to wrap up for the building usage. And TJ, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Come on, Katrina, bend down. Don't make me look so short. Oh, it's video. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, here, bend down.
Happy birthday, TJ Matt.
Oh my God, thank you. Try to do that.
You could have had it in Columbia, you could have had it in River. I know. Every place I go, they know you.
Yeah. You stacked.
Well, look at baby TJ. He looks the same. No, he's he would have gone to school like the teeters. Canby. Yep. Like Mike. Canby High School.
Did you see this?
That's amazing. And our friend from Nick and Scotty. That's Mike. John and them are in the back. How you doing? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I think the boys are staying.
There's too many ones that I got some. Close enough. Order your shirt from a shirt company. They're like, the next size is what? I'm like, just write it down. It's 22. Write it down.
But it's been a long time. We do have a present for you. Cool. I can't buy you tickets. With the and I went off to try to do that. And we just
Here, wait, I'll look like this. Is that better?
What's wrong with me?
Yeah. It's not a picture, it's video.
Well, anyway, here.
Yeah. You can wave or... Yeah.
Drop it like it's hot. How you doing? Pretty good. How are you?
We're like... You'll have to ask him.
I will.
You ask him.
He's pretty wild, huh?
Yeah.
Why is his camera? Pardon me?
Veggie Talks.
Veggie Talks. Hang on. That guy run me out of that spot.
I got it.
He's coming to get us out.
Get it up.
I'm going to get you up.
There's a camera. Everybody run.
Probably don't want me.
We want to make sure you get a good shot of that over there.
Next time we meet you. What classes do you want? And then you do hers. You have one. You have to be on the
And then we'll do one normal.
hats and boas. White ones. And I'll do
There's a mustache.
this.
Crown.
I'll do this. You do that. Okay, I'll do the mustache.
I'll do the mustache once though too.
There you go. And a hat.
Yeah, you wear a hat. Let me get the red boa too. What do you think? There's a tie. It's a tie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do the mustache, the hat. Tiara.
Mustache. Oh God, that's a lip.
Your head's too big for that hat.
Can we press the button?
Ready? We're going to do mustache.
Mustache, yeah.
And then we're going to switch to glasses. What about yourself?
Right. There you go.
Is it writable right on there?
Yep.
last one. And I can show them that on the market. You got spoiled though, because I've taken a fish since then, and you can't stand sitting for 2 hours and not catching anything. Like, that's fishing, buddy. That's bullshit. Another good on the bottom fish.
We can go in a different direction. Lori, Becks' wife?
So should I call him up? No. Should I call TJ when he's standing or leave him sitting in the audience? So have his name No, I just didn't know what to do because originally that was at the end. I just changed.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Can't hear me. Check, check, sound check. Gerbil. No, it's Jordan. On behalf of Kate and TJ Beck, we'd like to welcome everybody here to TJ's 40th Roast and Toast. We're going to get started here in just a couple minutes. Thank you. So if I can get everybody to grab their final drink and take their seats, we'll get this going. Appreciate your help. See you in a few.